Good evening and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. I hope that you guys are doing okay. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. Okay, so I want you guys to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those wonderful things. Okay. Um, Also, if you would like to support the channel, you can definitely support the channel via Cash App or Super Thanks. Okay. Um, I wanted to talk about, okay, um, yeah, I wanted to talk about um has Young Dolph's unaliver that was hired by CMG named Straight Drop finally coming to his senses, okay? I have reason to believe that um, he's coming to his senses. Some of these young men they're more caught up on a look, right? I'm sure Straight Drop at one point he was getting a phone ever so often. So, somebody has said he was a fan of my show, and I really thought that was trolling, but I kind of believe that he is, okay? And hopefully, I always hoped that he would at some point to go ahead and just do the right thing, have some type of conviction and not care about what other people say, right? Because I think that has been his issue the whole time. And hey, I'm not in his shoes. I'm sure it's got a lot to do with those that are left on the outside. A lot of people tend to think because, it has already been put out, okay, a long time ago by people in the Memphis streets and some bloggers that CMG is taking care of his family. His family don't have to want for anything. His little girl is, and we know they've been taking care of his baby mama because the word is that she's had a baby by a heavy camp affiliate or a heavy camp member. Okay. So that goes without saying. Okay. So they took care of her for sure right off the bat. Probably not in the way that he had wanted, but they did, right? And so yeah, right? So I don't me personally, I don't believe it has anything to do with them taking care of his family. They weren't even messing with him like that. So if they weren't messing with him and they want to try to disassociate themselves from him, and the truth be told, Teasy was probably the only person that had some loyalty to him, and because he did, they took him out. Okay. Somebody did. Um, Anyways, yeah, but I personally always believed that one of the reasons the two reasons that he would always retract whenever he got ready to come forward or when he would put some stuff into the atmosphere is because he cares about what people think about him. And I think he's fearful of what could happen to maybe the people that's still loyal to him on the outside, maybe like his mom and probably his himself. Like he got to be behind the wall for the rest of his life, and he's got to survive. But now, is he gonna stay behind the wall for the rest of his life? She gave him life in prison. She gave him life in prison, and then he's looking at some more charges. I'm sure at this point that blue-eyed lawyer that he has maybe maybe he's changing his tune or maybe he might get another lawyer. Okay. That lawyer was definitely being paid by somebody. Any lawyer that was for their clients, considering the evidence that they had on Straight Drop, a lot of it, you heard Paper Raul say that didn't even come out, not even 10%, right, of it came out. Um, just like Cornelius's lawyer told him, cooperate. Anybody else's lawyer, Jamarcus's lawyer told him, cooperate. Anybody's lawyer would have told them to cooperate, but not Straight Drop's lawyer. Okay, all of the evidence that they had on him. and he goes to trial with nothing. Okay? So, is Straight Drop finally coming to his senses? Hey, I have been wanting to put something out, and I did put something in the members. I was on the run. I got some more stuff I have to put into the platinum. I put some tea into the gold and the platinum today, but I got some exclusives that I got to put in the platinum. Um, that I had been holding, but as soon as I put it out this morning, Straight Drop turnaround. One of my subs, okay, um, turn around and sent me this. She said, "Girl, Straight Drop done posted. Somebody has posted," and that was like right after I had, uploaded my video. Okay, in the members. It was right after I had uploaded my video in the members, and he says that always know your worth, know what you deserve, know what you do for. Okay. So, is he having any? Is he coming to his senses? He didn't take it well, you guys, when he was. They really. I think it had a lot to do with hope, but the lawyers were gassing him up that they didn't have nothing. Cornelius was not a credible source. Cornelius would not have been a credible source if he had not placed himself on the scene. Cornelius placed himself at the crime scene and admitted to being one of the ones to unalive young Dolph. It would have been different if he had said, "No, it wasn't me, it was Straight dropping somebody else." That would have made him not credible. But since he said it was myself and it was Justin, that did it right there, right? That's why they didn't have to even put 10%. The case was over, right? And so you had people on the outside that was gassing them up. Bruh, you gonna get out, you gonna take over the rap scene. We still gonna take care of you. You gonna be one of the biggest out. All you got to do is not say anything. And see, Straight Drop ain't crazy. In the back of his mind, he knew that it could happen because he almost before the trial, they had him right where they needed him to be twice. I ain't telling you I'm telling you what I know. Okay. And they would get in his head. That comes from that young age, easily influenced. Um, hey, not believing that fat meat is greasy and all of that. And so now he's posting this. I'm sure they really, because the feds is outside. Have y'all ever been around like FBI agents and and CIA agents? Or those that have retired that have worked in CIA because they still take work and stuff. Um, they're very robotic. Go over there to the federal building. They hang out over there, okay? Because a lot of times when the CIA agents have retired, they'll be working somewhere in the federal government with their expertise. Okay, they're very robotic. All right. Um, and so these people led Straight Drop to believe, with all of these people and the expertise that the government has and the people that the government has. I don't care how much money a person claim they got, you ain't prepared to go up against the federal government. Look at what's going on with Puffy. He got more money than a lot of these folks lying like they got 100 million. I believe Puffy probably did have it because all he done stole and cheated folks for 30 years. Okay, so he probably did out of all the money he cheated these artists out of, left them nickel-less. So he probably did have it at some point, but the government gonna drain that, okay? The federal government is. But even he can't go up against. You see, he can't fight with them. You can. It is never good to ever fight with a entity, okay, that cannot run out of money. I don't know what in the hell wrong with people. Why would you ever even want to? That's why folks can't win with the IRS. You've had so many people take their lives because you can't fight against the federal government. You just can't do it. You just need to go and concede and do what they say do and go on and try to go on with your life if they let you. Okay, it just ain't good to be committing federal crimes and stuff. And so the federal government is outside and they're heavy as it relates to this young dog's case. I've been saying it forever when folks are saying the feds ain't on this case. I was saying, yes, they are for 2 years. They want to discredit me so bad. I ain't never in my life seen nothing like it. I look back now at everything that happened and that transpired because you had a bunch of old motherfuckers, wanting to be the only ones, you know, they wanted to be credible. See, when a person is full of shit. Always remember this because they do all they can to discredit somebody else. Always remember that because if they credible, they say what they got to say and they don't worry about other people. Okay. But with the federal government being outside, okay, um, you know, um, nobody is really wanting to deal. They really ain't gonna deal with him now. Cornelius, see, everything didn't come out because I know for a fact. I mean, it was some stuff that was omitted, but they didn't even talk about 10% of what they had because Cornelius really just brought the case on home. And so, according to my sources in that letter, and I'm sure it's going to be dealt with at another time. It's well, we already know because it's a federal case going on. Okay, well, other people going to be indicted and go to jail. Um, in that letter, because you had people in Atlanta that was aiding and abetting. Okay, after Young Dog was unfortunately unalive, so all of that has to be dealt with too, right? And so in that letter, I was told that straight drop is alleged. And the person that told me telling the truth, straight drop told Cornelius, tell on Juke and Gotti, but don't tell on me. I said that. I told y'all that. Cornelius got in court and he said, tell on Juke and quit. Of course, I noticed in court that they kind of wanted to guide Cornelius away from talking about Gotti, although he's let it slip a couple times, and that was definitely a strategy because that's an indication of something bigger to come. Okay. They wanted to keep the focal point on Juke and Quit because they didn't want them to release too much. Okay, because there's a whole nother entity going on that probably falls that ain't gonna even fall up under the state. Okay. I'm willing to take that to the bank. But let's look at what straight because see, I'm going on and on. I've been and said too much. So anyways, let's get back to this because I get to thinking, I start thinking in my head and I start talking out loud, right? But straight drop, right? He posts, always know your worth, know what you deserve, know what you do for. Okay. I wish he had been thinking like this and before he went and allowed them to trick him out of his position because that's what they did. They tricked him out of his position, and it's unfortunate that he thought that he could come up off of the back of some another family's pain and hurt. It just God was not going to allow it to happen like that. I wish he had knew his worth before he went and did that because his life is worth something too, right? So the mere fact that when you go and crash out like this, that means you think your life is not worth anything. Somebody try to pay you to go take somebody else out. They know the repercussions that comes behind that. That means that they think your life is worth nothing. So I wish he had realized, this in the very beginning. Know what you deserve. That's powerful right there. I'm sure it might be it's I'm sure it's a whole nother story behind him saying know what you deserve, right? Um, but then maybe not. It could be exactly what what I'm thinking because of, what I've been told. Okay. But hey, young Dolph deserved to live. And hey, I would have loved to see the young brother out, um, perfecting his craft, being with his daughter. I'm talking about straight drop now, but unfortunately, he chose to go and participate in taking another man from his craft and his children, right? And he said, "Know what you do for it." That ain't nothing but them, but the money. Okay, they probably have decided that they're not going to pay another retainers because you know when it starts getting hot, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't try to go pay it. But I think people are just trying to get as far away because they already know that they are up under the microscope. It ain't gonna be easy for them because see all of this we know now. I mean, I kind of lowballed it because I was told that the lawyers were paid like 30 to 35,000. We know now that those lawyers are paid 50,000. So the feds are watching that very close. Straight drop is not going to be understanding when they tell him we can't just go get him another 50 ball because and we anybody just can't come up with 50. Folks can't just come up with $50,000. That's got to be somebody that's got some money. So the feds don't want to know 50,000 is a lot of money. People don't just have that laying around. Okay, it's got to be somebody now. That's got it. What's their profession? Is it we know that the people that pay him to do this got it. And so they're going to be watching it close, okay? So they can't just go pay another 50 ball, okay? So that this attorney can, start on whatever he claimed he needs to start on. Because I don't think he want to start on nothing. He did what he was supposed to do. His loyalty was not to Straight Drop. His loyalty was to the people who paid him. And that was to ensure that he did not talk, right? But now that we know that now that it came out in court that he basically wanted Cornelius to tell it, they probably ain't gonna mess with him, period. Okay. But anyways, it's is he coming to his senses? Of course, all he got is time. He got the rest of his life. If I had to guess, I'm gonna just go ahead and say yes, he's coming to his senses. If I had to guess on if things are gonna change, is the energy of things changing? I'm just gonna go ahead and step out there and say, yeah, that's just me. Yes, yes, I do. I believe the whole shebang has changed. I do. I believe the whole shebang has changed. And we're going to see in just a little while. That's the reason why you can hear crickets. These Negroes ain't saying nothing, but they should have been like that before November 17th of 2021. If they think that the federal government is not going to get them niggas is going to jail. Black Youngster, Yo Gotti, and some of the rest of them. Okay, they're going to jail. It was a consistent history of trying to kill that boy, and the federal government is dealing with that. They're gonna deal with it. Okay, they're gonna deal with it. So, Straight Drop finally coming to his senses. He done had enough damn breakdowns. He didn't have enough breakdowns within the last, anyways. Anyways, y'all, that's what I wanted to talk about. Okay, that's what I wanted to talk about, y'all. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I think I'd be, asking for some mental meds too. If I was, if especially if the judge said, and I sentence you to life in prison. She said it without even taking a breath. I need me some too. Okay, and I think, I used to have this great aunt. Um, and they was I mean, everything she said, her and my grandma and them, they were always funny. They was witty. They was old country women that was funny and witty. They could look at you and tell when you was pregnant before you even miss your period. They could just watch you. They always knew something. And my aunt Mel used to always say, they say you have to lose your mind to get your sense back. It never made sense. We just laugh at them. They say you have to lose your mind to get your sense back. So, sense is back. She used to say that, old country woman from the backwoods of Mississippi. And I think about that now, when he was devastated and when he was flipping out, back there in that holding tank in his cell and, flip it, he lost his mind. And it's just like my great aunt says, you lose your mind, it seems like he might be getting his senses. You know, is he finally coming to his senses? Because he already lost his mind. He lost it. And I would have lost mine too. Life in prison. And he's looking at some more stuff. Because somebody is solving cases. Okay. Somebody is solving cold cases. So he lost his mind to come back to his senses. It don't make sense to me either, but I'm thinking about as I get older, a lot of what my grandma and my great aunt says, I can understand it now, even though it didn't make sense. I do understand it now. Okay. So, anyways, y'all stay tuned. This right here is something to watch. Did y'all hear what I say? This right here is something to watch. Okay. But anyways, you guys, hey, I hope that Straight Drop repents. I hope he repents, and maybe one day he can apologize to Young Dolph's family and his children for robbing them of a future with their father. Okay. Maybe one day he can. He will. Okay. But anyways, you guys, like I said, this is something to watch, right? But anyways, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. I gotta run. Like, share, and subscribe if you would like to support the channel. You could definitely support the channel via Cash App.